Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and get ready because I have a wild and over the top movie recommendations list for you because today we are going to peel back the cobwebs, dust off the VHS shelves, and dive into some of the sleaziest, cheesiest, and most gloriously unhinged horror flicks that your mom definitely did not let you rent back in the 80s. Because tonight we are counting down 10 of the naughtiest and nastiest over the top horror movies of all time. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so 10 craziest, back of the shelf, dusty. Some of these you might have considered at your old mom and pop video rental store having to go like through the beaded curtain to go find. We are definitely pushing the boundaries, but these are a whole lot of fun, full of bad acting, pretty good effects most of the time, and even the cheesiest ones have a good place in our heart, and that just somehow makes them perfect. So get ready, turn the lights down, adjust your tracking, and let's get into it. At number 10, we go back to 1987 with Creepazoids. So this one is full of sort of like futuristic, post-apocalyptic monsters. You got that checked off. Really goopy alien knockoffs. That was a big thing, whether you're Corman, whether you are Full Moon Pictures, whatever, that was a good genre to dive into. And a cast who are always kind of in like quasi paramilitary futuristic fatigues, and they're always in wet bunkers. This one has a lot of cheese and a shower scene that kind of steams up everything. And of course, a movie like this has Linnea Quigley, who leads this sort of radioactive romp of a movie where the military squad holds up in a lab and gets picked off by a mutant baby. That's right, it's a mutant baby that it kind of reminds you of like it. Maybe they borrowed it from the Ghoulies. That's what I think of every time I see it. The effects are kind of not quite there, but that gives it its charm. It's extra gooey, extra steamy, and very much an after dark old Skinamax type of horror movie. Pure sleaze core sci-fi horror, and I absolutely love it. Creepazoids checks in at number 10. Now at number 9, we've got one that your mom had no say-so in, probably because it's only a few years old, and it's kind of so sleazy, I'm not even sure I can say the name of it here on YouTube. So we're just going to call it Corno from 2019. And this one is a trip. You've got a group of Christian kids. They're like, teens, seniors in high school, working at a movie theater. And they accidentally unleash a sex demon after watching a cursed vintage skin flick. That's exactly what happens. And this whole town is like ultra conservative, almost like that small town horror where it's not, it goes past like wholesome and whatever, and there's something sinister maybe just under the town. It's like an overbearing thing. It's not normal, and that feeling is kind of there, and these kids are kind of rebelling against that, and they're in a movie theater, which I love. They unleash this thing, and man, it's part horror satire for sure, part body horror, and definitely has some skin to it and some kind of stomach turning effects where that is kind of tied into some of that skin that they're showing. The body horror is there. The naughty, like, metaphysical mayhem of this thing. As I said, the body horror, you got some exploding body parts. I'm just going to say that. You have a demon seduction going on and a lot of repressed guilt that is manifesting itself out. it's still kind of wholesome with a message overall. This one is pretty twisted. I can't even say the name here. Can't even put it in the list. I'm going to have to just like kind of blink it out. But check this one out. You can try before you buy on Tubi, maybe Shudder. This one's a trip. A newer entry on this list. Corno from 2019 comes in at number 9. Now, next up on this list, we couldn't stay out of the 80s long. We're going back to 1988. And if I showed you nothing other than the Blu-ray cover for this movie, you would understand that Nightmare Sisters definitely has a place on this list. We're into our second movie that stars Linnea Quigley, Skin Scream Queen, and you have basically these 3 geeky sorority girls who become these 3 hot sorority girls after they host a seance, get possessed by a succubi, and turn into demonic sex bombs by mistake. And as I said, this one stars Linnea Quigley, low budget, Skinamax style horror scream queen icon, but it also has a trifecta because you're also going to get Michelle Bauer in this one, who is famous for those kind of movies, and Brinky Stevens, who's also in those kind of movies. I think I said her name right. It's got the longest bubble bath, gratuitous bubble bath scene that you, if Joe Bobs was talking about this, he would say this one has bubble bath foo, and it definitely does. Possessed bananas, feather boas. If you ever wanted to see what a haunted, demon-possessed pajama party looks like at 3 a.m. on Cinemax, aka Skinamax, with no budget, shot over a 3-day weekend, Nightmare Sisters is your holy grail. This one, there was no question it was coming in on this list. When I sat down to make it, it checks in at number 8. Now, at number 7 on this list is one that is raunchy and cheesy with style and grace. And it's a bit newer as well. I'm talking about 2016's The Love Witch. This one has the coolest, like, retro cinematography that I've seen. It has Technicolor vibes, that soft, creamy, dreamy focus to the film, shot independent style, low budget. I have a big love for that kind of thing. And the filming was all done by the lead actress who plays a seriously seductive witch in this. The Love Witch is like part giallo soap opera dipped in 60s glitter and has a little bit of feminist commentary, but don't let that dissuade you because it is crafted to have that 1960s look like it's supposed to be in 1969. But this witch is coming with one spicy spell book because there is plenty of nudity. She is looking to get the right man into bed in the right ways. It is smart, sexy, obsessed with tarot cards, velvet robes, dead boyfriends, and viewers, just beware because this one could cause you to have some unexplainable urges. And maybe it's the spicy spell book, or maybe it's just the cool vibes of this that may want to make you redecorate your room. I can't tell. But either way, I feel like this one classes up the joint on this list. So The Love Witch comes in at number 7. Oh man, the next one on the list at number 6 is a classic for this kind of subgenre. It's an icon of this, and I am talking about 1982's Slumber Party Massacre. This is where the very, sexual overtones of this movie causes the killer to bring a extensive power drill to the pajama party. That happens. But hey, this thing was actually directed by a woman. So pretty interesting on that. So it's a slasher made by women, about women, but it still focuses on tons of bouncing boobs and blood splatters. So you got to respect that they didn't take the whole different road on that. No, they went all in with both barrels or with one long drill, however you want to say it. It's equal parts parody, gore fest, an 80s kind of slasher by the numbers. It's very Freudian with the big long power drill. I always hear what's his name? Andrew Dice Clay from Adventures of Ford Fairlane, where he named his privates Stanley, as in the power drill. Like, that's what I think of now every time I see this movie. It's a girls' night that is interrupted, but it's still got pizza, pillows, plenty of pink tinted death in this. So bring your own sleeping bag, maybe a helmet if you're going to survive Slumber Party Massacre. This is an icon of this subgenre. It had to be on this list. It comes in at number 6. Now, at number 5 on this list is one that some people may not know as well as some of the others on this list. But man, if you are looking for steamy, naughty, nasty, crazy, Skinamax horror, 80s style B-movie vibes, that's a mouthful, but this movie has it all. Aliens, vampires, horny teens, John Carradine. I am talking about Evils of the Night from 1985. I read somewhere a review of this that said it's like E.T. got possessed by Larry Flint. And I could not stop laughing. I had to put that in here. It is about a group of space vampires who abduct teens for their blood, but before they can get them drained, they seem to always need to find a way to get them undressed. And when I say that, there is a lot of undressing, and there is a lot to be seen, full frontal, backle, sideways. There's a lot going on here. It's a sneaky summertime horror movie that people kind of forget. So as I'm recording this, that's perfect. We've just kicked off summer. Boatloads of really bad old school B horror movie acting, but that's okay. But because they still throw in all of those horrible decision making, skills that every teenager, college kid had in 80s horror movies, which makes them so lovable. And this flick feels like someone mixed Life Force a little bit with a community theater production of Baywatch. Like, there's beautiful people getting naked for some reason, nonsensical stuff. But hey, you're welcome, because it is absolutely awesome. You can try this one on Tubi. I know, I'm not sure about Shudder. You can try it for free on Tubi. I think Vinegar Syndrome has the Blu-ray of this, maybe. If so, I've got to pick it up myself, because you should get everything on physical media, including this one, to make sure you get to see it in all of its uncut, uncalled for glory, because this one is all that and a bag of chips. Evils of the Night comes in at number 5. All right, at number 4 on this list is kind of a cult hit in this kind of Skinamax naughty horror B-movie genre, and it takes place at one of my favorite locations to do a movie, which is like a ski lodge, that kind of thing. And wow, Iced is the perfect fit for this kind of list right here, because it still exists. Mainly, yes, this is a Blu-ray, but it had to be rescued from old VHS videotape, so it is perfect for this. It gives you all of those vibes, but you can play it on your 4K player, your Blu-ray player, and still get that old VHS late night Skinamax feel. Hot tubs, ski lodges, Colombian Bam Bam, murder, tons of fog and steam all over the place, real snow everywhere, real ice, a Zamboni that takes an hour to run over someone. I mean, it's a obsessively crazy snow slasher. It's about a group of 80s yuppies trapped in a snowy cabin with a masked maniac who keeps picking them off, and in kind of ridiculous ways. But it also has the most dramatic hot tub scene and kill ever that just kind of goes on and on, kind of with some 80s blue lightning type effects. And the part is actually played by a pretty well-known actress known for her role as Wednesday Addams in the original Addams Family. This one is so 80s heavy vibes, B movie, late night stuff. It's going to make you want to bust out a neon snowsuit and throw that thing over your bikini for later or your bathing suit. Absolute bonkers late night horror with all of the skin to go with it. Iced is an absolute no brainer. I love this bad movie. It comes in at number 4. Now at number 3 on this list, we go a bit darker on here for something that comes from a Lovecraft story, and that is 1995's Castle Freak. This one does kind of go dark, and it's a little more or a little less known than some of the other Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs collaborations, but you have them both in here, and they have inherited a castle. Yes, a castle. But surprise, there is a flesh-eating ghoul chained in the basement who is like sex obsessed. It's true. Stuart Gordon directs it, so he's back with Crampton and Combs again. It's a very Lovecraft-tinged gore fest, and the monster movie kind of mixes with a domestic sort of marriage meltdown situation. Something tragic has happened between Combs and Crampton, and it's kind of devolving their relationship, and it kind of adds an uncomfortable factor to this. But there are whippings, nudity, crazy like assaults. This thing is, I'm telling you, it's a bit darker than a lot of other movies on this list, but it definitely qualifies as late night, and naughty and nasty gets incorporated in here very, very, to a very high degree. I'm just going to say that, but that being said, I love this movie. It is a freaky, freaky ride. Castle Freak comes in at number 3 on this list. And that just leaves our top 2, and number 2 is one of the most fun, ridiculous movies ever, and I just can't get enough of watching it. It is 1989's Death Spa. So you get a haunted health club where literally stairmasters explode, you've got steam rooms melting off people's skin, and ghosts wearing leg warmers. Who knows? All of this stuff is happening. Death Spa is like, it took advantage of the 80s like health boom, and back when it was health clubs and spas, and then it got into more hardcore lifting and all that kind of stuff in the 90s and evolved into the health culture we have now. But at this point in time, Death Spa is what happens when you cross Poltergeist and a X-rated version of a Jane Fonda workout tape or something. Like, I picture all of like the leg warmer aerobic VHS videos. If those were horror and softcore mixed together, you would get Death Spa. There are glowing green effects in this, tons of synth music. The gym equipment is often possessed by evil spirits. Weight machines try to kill people, but in and amongst all that, you have very revealing workout costumes, shower scenes, steam room scenes, all that kind of stuff to fulfill all the check marks that you need for a list like this. Death Spa is crazy fun. Got Ken Foray in this movie, who's been in many horror films, and I like him in this one too. Lots of fun. Death Spa. If you haven't seen this one, check it out. It comes in at number 2. And that just leaves number 1. And number 1, in my opinion, is kind of the GOAT on this list. And it's one of my favorite horror movies all time. Headed back to 1986 for From Beyond. Now, if you follow me, you know I love this movie. And this, if you're a Reanimator fan, think of Reanimator as like your appetizer, and From Beyond is your main course on a list like this, with a little extra sleaze and a lot more goo thrown underneath. Again, you've got Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton back together, and Combs works with a mad scientist, kind of becomes a mad scientist. You've got sexy outfits in here, leather bikini outfits, brain-eating interdimensional monsters because of this machine that's been created to to let us see into other dimensions. The pineal gland is affected that allows this, but that also stimulates the libido. It gets soft, squishy, hard. And Barbara Crampton, who I love, spends a lot of the movie in kind of like dominating gear. Let's just say that. It's sexy. It's gross. It might be, though, the most well-made, the most well-regarded movie on this list. This is what happens when you get horror with benefits right here. Is From Beyond, unquestioned number one for a list like this. An excellent movie you need to check out. From Beyond, along with all of the other movies on this list. And there you have it, my friends. 10 horror flicks that are equal parts naughty and nasty, just how I like them. That sleaze, that late night Skinamax factor to them, those hiding on the back of the VHS shelves. That's what it's all about. Not just blood and guts, but sometimes bubble baths, possessed stairmasters, and demons with libido. So light up some candles, crank up some synthwave music, and treat yourself to a trashy night with any or all of these. And I really hope you enjoyed this list. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm a filmmaker. I love making movies, horror movies, and talking about movies with you. We do it all here. Recommendations, lists like this, movie rankings, physical media news, 4K movie reviews, all that kind of stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. And if that's something you'd like to support, more than just liking and subscribing, you can join at my YouTube channel or my Patreon. Be a Patreon member. You're going to get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, and so much more. And I can do all these videos in the fun, uncensored way over there on Patreon that they're supposed to be. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Late nights. Bye-bye.